Hi everyone, Andrew here for ABELI Reviews, and exciting news, we have made it. We are now at the top of the hip. The booze snooze has arrived. We are ready to begin our process and head to our ship so we can start to make some money. I appreciate all of you sticking with us through this series. I do hope it was helpful. It kind of made sense to me to break it up into a series of videos. That way it was kind of bite-sized, so if you were interested in one part, you wouldn't have to scroll around, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, either way, we're heading down to our spaceship. So we're heading to our Python now. We'll go ahead and board. We'll take these cool little elevators down. And of course, as I've referenced before, you are welcome to use any medium or small ship. Anything that requires a large landing pad, though, will not work. But we've already covered that before, so no big deal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and board my ship. And this is where we're going to have to do a little bit of two screens, if you will. So first thing first, let's go ahead and get out of here because we are done in this space. One, your ship needs to have some cargo holds, obviously, since we're going to be carrying cargo. But here's where it's interesting. So we're going to be helping various fleet carriers unload their wine. So that actually requires us to know which fleet carrier is actually having us unload the wine. So you might ask, how do you do that? That's where that Discord channel from the pilot's trading network or trade network comes into play. So what I'm going to do is we're going to switch over to Discord. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean when I sort of reference we need to learn about these two things. We're going to go ahead and we'll stop here in space. We'll make sure we're not in the area. Okay, good. We're out of the way. That's excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. Okay, we are now back into our Discord channel here. We're at the Pilot's Trade Network, and we went over to the little section here called Wine Cellar Unloading. This is where they're going to post notifications for which fleet carrier is ready for us to go purchase wine from it. So as you can see here, and this is going to change. They're only going to show probably one or two at a time. But as you can see here, we have Carrier NAC Ars Delcidium, and it's currently unloading 20,000 tons of wine. Perfect. Now that we know that information, this is why I think having this on your phone or having this on a separate screen is so helpful. The other thing to keep in mind is there's only so much wine, and a lot of people are participating in these events. So it's possible by the time I get to that fleet carrier, it will be out of wine. And that's because I've been sitting here chatting with you. We first were in the game. They announced it. So all of those things do come into play when it kind of comes into when these things are going to happen. So you probably can't see this, but at the time of this, it's showing at 9:05 that was posted. It's now 9:12 for me as I'm recording this. So that does mean it has been active for a little while now. Now, that's not to say we shouldn't have any issues, but just something to keep in mind. You can always kind of tell once it's full, people will mark it. They'll actually click this button, react to it with a certain emoji. We don't have to do that. We're not going to do any of those things, but now we know we have our thing, NAC Ars Decidium. So I'm going to go ahead and now switch back to Elite Dangerous. Okay, we're now back in Elite Dangerous, and we're going to look for that ship. So we're going to go over here to our left-hand panel. We're going to filter by fleet carriers, and we are now looking for the NAC Ars Decidium. So I just sort of scroll through here, and it's going to be which one's far away, blah, blah, blah. You just look for the one that's in the system, and you start scrolling through it. So far, it's not super close to us. There it is. Perfect. Lock and engage, super cruise. We'll target it.
Ready to engage. Speed restrictions have been 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
All right. So now we are heading to this fleet carrier. And I don't want to miss it. So let's make sure we set that to super cruise assist. Now we're just going to head to it. And at this point, what we're essentially doing is kind of racing against time to a certain extent. because there's so many other people participating, they're also going to want to unload the wine. Now, I'm saying this because I just want us to be prepared for that to possibly happen during this recording. If you're doing this, you will pretty much always be able to get one full cargo run from every single fleet carrier. I'm not saying it's going to always be the case, but for me, 99% of the time, when I'm ready and the thing pops up, the next fleet carrier shows up on the Discord channel, and I have it open on my phone on the side here, I can see it's still available. When that comes up, you just put that into your nav panel and you head to it. You will be fine. It is not a major race. If you're really, really fast and maybe it's super close to where your current location is and then where it has to be dropped off, which is Rackham's Peak, you might be able to do 2 spins. Maybe it's late in the night and not many people are playing and you might be able to do another one. Those kind of things are absolutely possible. That being said, don't feel like you have to be rushed. This is a video game. It's a fun time. This should not feel like a stressful experience for you. So if we miss this one because people have already unloaded it, great for them. That's awesome. It's fun, right? We're all here to just have a fun time and play a cool game, and it's nice that other people are also participating in the event. I think that makes it fun. If nobody else participated in it, then it makes it really kind of boring. That being said, I did notice on my phone that there was a new mark that somebody did mark it as saying it is now empty of wine. I'm still going to go and check it out because I think it's worth taking a peek anyways and kind of showing you the process. But if it is sold out, it's sold out, and we'll wait for the next one. Usually they come up within the next like 5 to 6 minutes. And what's really happening is the Pilots Trade Network is essentially saying, okay, this fleet carrier is empty. Which fleet carrier is next in our queue to be unloaded? And then the next one will get put on there. So it's kind of, if you've ever unloaded a truck before, it's very similar to that. You got to get one out of the way for the next one to show up. Let's go ahead and request docking. We'll slow down for auto dock. And then of course we'll land here. But I'm pretty confident it's going to be sold out, but either way, we'll kind of go through the motions, just get a good practice run in this. I always like the auto dock anyway. Doo-doo-doo. It always kind of feels it's a little unhinged the way the auto dock kind of goes around and marks it as a landing, sort of straight down, and then does this really nice dainty butterfly landing. Perfect. So now that we've landed, we're going to go to carrier services. Excellent. Then we're going to go to commodities. Oh, look at that. There's still plenty of wine. So we're going to buy 280, which is how much I can fit. For me, it's going to cost basically $600 million credits. That is okay. If you didn't come with enough to fill your entire space, that's fine. Now, you might notice something. It actually didn't say it filled my cargo. So what you sometimes have to do is reload it again. And that time it says it actually did it. Here's the deal. I do this just to make myself feel good. It actually did go in. It's just a silly bug with the game. That being said, we were able to buy our wine. Buy as much as you can fit in your ship's cargo hold. That's it. That's all you're really doing. So if you have a smaller ship, that's okay. You are still going to make way more profit participating in doing this than just buying the wine in some other thing. So this is really fun. So we have 280 tons. Our cargo is full. We're going to go ahead and go back. I like to top up my fuel. At this point, we have done the tricky part, right? The first part I said is you have to get that cargo. That's the race. Now we're ready to sell it. We're going to go ahead and hop away from here. Thank you so much, Commander Relentless Deer. Thank you very much. We appreciate you doing this. We'll get away from the fleet carrier, and while that's happening, we're going to go to our navigation panel, and we're going to look for a station. Boom! And there it is, Rackham's Peak. Rackham's Peak, I don't know, I've never heard somebody pronounce it. We're going to go ahead and click that, and lock, and supercruise. But we're a little too close still, so we'll pop away. There we are. And I'd say we're probably far enough away now. Super Cruise assist is on. So now we're going to send out and head towards Rackham's Peak. We're a little close to this planet or moon, so we'll see how that goes, but I think we'll be fine. Let's relock in, Super Cruise assist. Perfect. So you can see now we are heading back to Rackham's Peak. Or I guess not back, we are heading there. This is our first time in this video going to this location. So let's remember what we did. We bought 280 tons of wine for about 6.3 million credits. No small change of sum either, right? If you're just starting out, that's still a lot of credits. But what we're going to get in return, and that's the thing I want you to sort of note here. Even if you aren't able to buy the amount that I had, and there are people that can buy more. Some people like to even run without a shield, so they don't even have a shield on their ship, which then they replace with another cargo spot. I personally like shields. I'm always going to do that. Always going to pick one. So, because this exact reason, there are pirates in this station at times. They're going to try to steal our wine. I don't want to fight them, so we're just going to, do the escape vector here. And those of you that have never experienced something like this, the thought is you just have to keep your ship kind of in line with the escape vector, and it gives you points. Perfect. We did just fine, no issues at all, and we'll continue on. And turned our Super Cruise back on. Nothing to be worried about. Not a concern of ours. If you do get in a fight with them or they happen to knock you out, you just start to go away, or you can fight them if you want. But anyways, back to this. Just remember, the percentage that you buy is always going to be less. You're always going to make way more. So don't feel like you are losing money in this event. You're going to make some. The other thing that's really cool is the view. You notice here, we are out in the black. It is literally the Milky Way galaxy all around at the bottom of us. We're at the tippity top, which I think is pretty darn cool. To give you context, let's just sort of take a peek at the galaxy map real quick. And you can see where we are. We zoom out, we are right there on the edge. And we're also really high up. Like most of my stuff that I've done is way down below. So that's already just super cool. So anyways, that gives you context to what we're doing. But here we go, heading to Rackham's Peak. Coming in nice and smooth. I can see our distance is coming in, so that's gonna be nice. It's right here next to this sun. And we are almost there. You can see our distance and speed are now starting to decrease into the blue. So, the next phase, and this really is kind of the back and forth. Now that we are here, it's a fairly simple process, right? What we covered before was you had to go to Discord to see which ship is unloading. We did that. We then went to that ship, bought some wine. We just did that. Now you take that wine to Rackham's Peak. The only part of this equation that you continually repeat that changes is you unload from a different ship. That's it, but you're always taking it back to Rackham's Peak. And here they are. So we'll head to Rackham's Peak now. Now there is something kind of funny about this. So this is a game after all, and it's going to run into issues. The issue that we get to play with, which is kind of annoying, is at times this station is going to have a hard time allowing you to actually enter it. And I'll show you what I mean. To essentially dock. There could be another ship in the way. That's sometimes tedious. So you have to wait. Think of it like waiting at the gas station. You're ready to get your petrol, and then you have to wait in line because somebody else is there first. Same idea. But it's okay. I'll show you how to get around that. We'll just sort of head straight to it. I like to get a little higher of it so we can look down. All right, we can start to see the numbers in the distance there, and I can even see a ship coming in right in front of us. They're looking to land. Love it. So as we get a little closer, I'm going to start to slow down, and I'm going to start requesting to dock. So right there, you see that? How it said docking request denied. And that's because there are other ships that are also there. So what you do is you sort of just hold your button here and consistently request it. And if you just keep doing this, I know it's silly, it's kind of annoying. After a little while, if you run into this, you'll see that ship will start to leave. You can see it leaving right now, right at that 05 on the right-hand side of my screen. Once that ship is left, and basically it just spins them around. Once they've left, boom, it'll let you in. You just click it a few times. It really is not a major issue, and for the amount of money you're making, totally worth it, in my opinion. Of course, you are your own captain in this game, so you are welcome to do whatever you would like. But for my purposes, that was fairly simple. All that's happening is that NPC or that other player character is heading to that space, and they are essentially trying to dock too, and you're just making the request. So it either kicks them out, or it'll send them into the station, and then you can land as well. Pretty simple process. But okay, great. Here's the exciting part. What all of our effort and videos and time has been for, right? We had to run to the location. We had to get in the ship. We had to travel up to the fleet carrier. We had to get here. We had to buy the wine. All the fun stuff. Now it's time to get paid. So we're going to go ahead and fill up. And now we're going to hit Starport Services. Make sure, if you are playing online with other people, you get yourself inside the station. Don't just hit Starport Services and sit at the top. But in any case, we're going to go to our commodities market. Here's all the things they want to sell us, but we can buy from them. But we're going to go to sell. We're going to scroll down all the way to wine. Perfect. I want to sell all of it. Now, let's remember, we spent 6.3 million credits. Our total sale cost will be 78 million credits for a total profit of 71 million credits. So just think about that for a second. In the time it took us to spend just around 6.5 million, we've now made 70 million credits. I'm gonna go ahead and sell that now. 70 million credits for what was effectively a 5-minute flight back and forth, maybe 10 minutes because we had to sort of go on one end of this little system to the other. Once you're here, this back and forth profit is excellent. Of course, getting here takes a little bit of time, but it's part of the event. It's part of the fun. That's what makes this neat. And again, like I said, if you are here and online, make sure you go to hangar. Don't just stand here. Somebody else is waiting in line. But anyways, back to this. We just made all that money from nothing. So here's the deal. We're going to try this again because I'm sure I maybe went too quick or maybe you're curious. So the next one, we just looked on Discord and I looked on my phone this time. You've already seen that. Just go back to the video and look again. A new ship is ready. And this time it's called the PTN Intrepid. So we're going to go ahead and go over here to our navigation panel. We're going to filter by fleet carriers. And we are looking for the PTN Intrepid. It's kind of nice that they have little labels. You can sort of scroll down until you see it. PTN Intrepid. Perfect. Super Cruise Assist. Now we're going to head towards that one. And we might be closer to it, right? That one fleet carrier was kind of far away. This one could be quite close. So here we go. On to the next one. And I'm going to go ahead and set my Super Cruise Assist to it, and boom. We are heading to the PTN Intrepid. And I think that's going to go fairly quickly. I'm going to continue to monitor my chat just to confirm. So far, nobody has marked it as empty, which is fantastic. And this is essentially the process. You can play this online with other people too, and you'll get to see all their ships. For our purposes, I wanted to do this offline, so we had a nice, clean, simple video. No disruptions. But playing online is fun too, because then you get to see all the other ships going back and forth. Of course, that also means there could be pirates and people that are, you know, less scrupulous, or more scruples, I forget how you'd say it. But essentially, there could be bad people. From our purposes, though, we're heading here now. Look at that. Our distance is almost in. And we are going. I think you could safely say we could do this back and forth here in under 10 minutes. And I'm even chatting your ear off. So let's go over here. And then the other fun part, at least in my opinion, you get to see the cool looking ships. The way the different commanders have essentially decided to design their ships. I always find that to be really cool. I like that they've got the cool colors for the numbers there. The docking locations are all purple. They really went for that cool aesthetic. At least, I think it's kind of neat. A little different. But of course, you can have your own opinion about it as well. Again, we're going to go dock, just like before. We're going to buy some wine. We're going to leave. We're going to fly back to Rackham's Peak. We're going to sell our wine. Probably have to spam that landing button. And we're going to make some more money. Simple as that. No time at all. And it's a fun event. Plus you got to ride around on a ship and see some others. I think that's pretty cool. Carrier services, just like before. Commodities. Buying some wine. 6.1 this time. Thank you. Perfect. So you can see here again, bottom right corner, it says my cargo capacity is 0 of 28. You just saw me buy it. I go back, I open it again. You'll see it's in there. So just a silly little thing. It'll still be there even if you don't. But like I said, I like to just make sure. Now we take off. Simple, simple, simple. And we hop away here. And as we go away, we're looking back to our filter. We're going to go over to stations. Rackham's Peak. Super Cruise Assist. I'm probably too close to that guy. I always do that. I'm impatient. There we are. Let's go ahead and do that again. This was a pretty short one, so it's possible. Had we gotten a jump on it when it just started, we could have maybe had 2 runs here. For our purposes, again, I'm just happy to be participating, and I don't like to be that greedy. I think it's kind of nice to let other people get a chance to get some wine as well. But, you know, make your choice. Okay, so I do see, look at the top here. We have a chat. I guess it went away, but it kind of looked like one of the NPCs was maybe saying, like, hey, you've got cargo and stuff. I'm going to try to take it from you. Yep, there it is. That's okay. We'll just do an escape vector real quick. Kind of annoying because we were so close to Rackham's Peak. Not a big deal, though. All we have to do is stay in line and just sort of follow it. Don't worry if you don't always get it. Just stay close to it. You can see we'll start chipping away at his red, and we'll start getting points in our blue. Don't feel like you have to overcorrect. Just sort of tap yourself into that space. Perfect. Okay. Super Cruise Assist. Let's realign. And it is possible they'll try to do it again. They'll probably annoy you for a while. But that's okay. You just keep a positive outlook and you'll have a good time. I want to slow down. But we're circling it. We're so close. There it is. Perfect. All right. So now we are heading back, just like before. You know, what's interesting, I've done this a few other times, and there'll be runs where I will not hear from any sort of pirates at all. At all. And then there are other times where they'll constantly bug you. There's other times where I've been to the starport and never had issues, and then there are times where I had to sit there and spam it. I think it's just luck of the draw. Don't feel like you're getting picked on. You'll have your time in the sun, too. So here we go. Heading towards it. Again, kind of in the center there. We'll get a little closer. Do. And as we get closer here, that's fine. One thing I do want to reference, occasionally it's happened to me that pirates have followed me to Rackham's Peak and they've started to shoot at my ship. Just put some power into your shields and get close to Rackham's Peak. Eventually they'll get sort of sent away. But that can happen too. Alright. So we'll just do this just for fun. Yep, of course. Never hurts to try though. And I like to kind of sort of prep myself. We'll just do a few. Now we're getting closer. Start aligning ourselves with one of these. We can watch it. I always like to kind of see so I know when that ship is going to be leaving. Yeah, so this is perfect. So they're going to spin him around. Perfect. Uh-oh. I think I overcorrected. There we are. Now we'll just go like this. There we are. Perfect. And it lets us in. Again, a little annoying, but in my humble opinion, not annoying enough to not keep doing it. So something to keep in mind. Solves it for you really well. But here we go. This is our final run. We are now going to sell our wine again. And you don't have to use auto dock and all the other super cruise assist and all that. You're welcome to do all this on your own. I just prefer it. I think it's kind of nice. It simplifies the parking stuff. It's the future. We're in space. I think those things could be solved by now. Go to sell. And there's the wine. This time, there we are again, 71 million. Perfect. We just made another cool 70 million credits. For those of you keeping tabs at home, we just made over 100 million credits in less than like 20. I think that's pretty cool. Of course, there are many other ways. I'm sure someone's in the comments are going to say it. You can make money elsewhere. You certainly can. This is fun. It's a cool event. It's a neat thing to do. It's a little different. You get a cool view. There's all these other fun things to do. But either way, I hope this video is helpful for you. If you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I've sort of toyed with the idea of doing a video where we start basically a new account and try to sort of build all the way up to something like this too. So I'll consider that as well. But either way, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments space. Otherwise, happy hunting, good luck, and I do hope you get a chance to participate in this event. It is put on by a lovely group of people. Just make sure you follow the rules, and you'll have a great time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.